It started with a garage, a desk made from a wooden door. Now, Jeff Bezos is exchanging vows on a $500 million yacht surrounded by rockets, robot dogs, and enough wealth to power a small nation. In 2025, he's not just rich, he's redefining what modern royalty looks like, from supercars to space missions, and now a wedding in Venice that feels more like a movie than reality. But don't blink, because what happened after the ceremony might be the boldest flex of his entire empire. Jeff Bezos was born in Albuquerque, 1964, but his brain was always operating a few decades ahead. High school valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, then Princeton, electrical engineering and computer science. Not just passion, precision. He wasn't dreaming, he was drafting. After graduating in 1986, Bezos didn't chase startups. He went to Wall Street, joined D.E. Shaw & Co., a hedge fund powered by algorithms and raw IQ. By 30, he was one of the firm's youngest VPs. But for Bezos, the problem wasn't money, it was scale. He saw the internet exploding at 2,300% a year. Everyone else saw chaos. Bezos saw infrastructure. So he quit, packed a car, drove to Seattle, and launched a bookstore out of his garage. Amazon was born in 1994. His first desk? A wooden door bolted to 4 legs. His first employee? Mackenzie Scott, his wife at the time. There were no billion-dollar projections, just bandwidth, customer obsession, and staying alive. This wasn't a fairy tale. It was a blueprint, a builder's origin. Keep watching, because the man who once taped plans to a garage wall is about to tape a rocket to the sky and say, "I do," on open water. The Wedding, a billionaire love story. Jeff Bezos has launched rockets, bought Hollywood mansions, and reshaped industries. But on June 27, 2025, he stood on something different, the deck of his $500 million super yacht, saying, "I do," to Lauren Sanchez. The location? Venice. Not just the city, the Grand Canal. His yacht, Koru, docked like a floating palace, became both altar and symbol. Even love in Bezos's world happens at scale. Guests arrived by private jet and water limousine, stepping onto silk-draped docks guarded like state borders. The ceremony blended old-world luxury with futuristic detail. Drones hovered above, strings echoed through marble halls, and every frame felt curated for legacy. Lauren wore a custom European couture gown, rumored at over $250,000. Satin, sculpted, flawless. The guest list read like a global power index. Tech moguls, Hollywood elites, royal names, all present. Michelin star chefs designed the menu. Art installations replaced flower walls. Nothing was random. Everything was calculated, elegant, and exact. A wedding, yes, but also a message. Even intimacy is infrastructure. Post-ceremony, they sailed to Sicily for a honeymoon at San Domenico Palace, the real White Lotus hotel, with rooms starting at $7,000 a night and cliffs that overlook centuries of history. History of Amazon. It didn't start with AI or streaming or trillion-dollar valuations. It started with books. In 1994, Jeff Bezos launched Amazon from a garage in Seattle, betting on a single idea: that the internet would change how the world buys, sells, and lives. The product was humble. The ambition wasn't. Bezos didn't just want to sell books online. He wanted to build the infrastructure for global commerce. And that's exactly what he did. Amazon grew fast, but under the radar, expanding from books to music, then movies, electronics, and eventually everything from diapers to data. While other retailers fought for shelves and storefronts, Bezos went underground. Warehouses, robotics, delivery logistics, engineered for speed, scale, and obsession with the customer. Then came the real pivot. In 2006, Amazon launched AWS, its cloud division. What looked like a side project became the hidden engine of the internet. Netflix, NASA, global banks, they all started running on Amazon's servers. While users were buying toasters and paper towels, Amazon was quietly becoming the foundation of the digital economy. By the 2010s, AWS generated more profit than the rest of Amazon combined. Bezos didn't just build a store, he built the system that powered other systems. At its peak, Amazon pushed Bezos's net worth past $200 billion, making him the richest person on Earth. But it wasn't just about money, it was about control. of infrastructure, of data, of distribution. Bezos had created a machine that could move industries with a single shift. In 2021, he stepped down as CEO. But that wasn't an exit. It was a handoff. He became executive chairman. Amazon no longer needed daily oversight. It was self-replicating, automated, scaling on its own. That freed him. Now his focus turned to rockets, robotics, rare assets, and legacy. Stepping away from Amazon didn't slow him down. It unlocked him. Keep watching, because what came after the garage, the door desk, and the prime empire was something even bigger. While most billionaires build up skyscrapers, stadiums, stock portfolios, Jeff Bezos built out far into the West Texas desert. Beyond paved roads and cell phone towers, he bought land not just for retreat, but for liftoff. Blue Origin was founded in 2000, long before space became a playground for billionaires. While the world watched SpaceX steal headlines with explosions and spectacle, Bezos stayed silent. He wasn't chasing the moment. He was building for the long game. At the edge of the Guadalupe Mountains sits a 300,000-acre ranch Bezos bought for $75 million. Remote, vast, and intentional. It's here that Blue Origin runs its tests. No crowds, no live streams, just sky, silence, and systems designed to outlast hype. Bezos calls it gradatim ferociter, Latin for step by step, ferociously. That's been the philosophy from day one. No flashy press, no countdown theatrics, just methodical engineering, reusable rockets, lunar landers, orbital infrastructure, not for headlines, but for history. In 2021, Bezos boarded New Shepard and crossed the Kármán line. It wasn't the first or fastest spaceflight, but it marked something else. The founder stepping into the frontier himself. Space wasn't just a mission, it became a destination. But the joyrides aren't the goal. Blue Origin is building Blue Moon, a lunar lander for cargo and crew, part of NASA's Artemis program. Contracts may shift, but the direction doesn't. Bezos wants to build permanent infrastructure on the moon, in orbit, and beyond. That ranch isn't just real estate. It's a private launch base for a civilization in progress, a quiet corner of Earth rehearsing for the next chapter of human expansion. Because Bezos isn't trying to visit space, he's trying to settle it, slowly, permanently, until the silence breaks. Keep watching. The next chapter isn't on Earth. Real estate, a billionaire's map of power. Most billionaires buy homes. Jeff Bezos collects coordinates. His real estate isn't a portfolio, it's a strategy. Every location is intentional, every address, a message. In Beverly Hills, he owns a $165 million estate, once home to Jack Warner, then David Geffen. It spans 13,000 square feet, with guest houses, gardens, and a private golf course. Not just a mansion, a fortress of legacy. In Washington, D.C., he bought and combined 2 historic properties into a 30,000 square foot residence, the city's largest home. Once a textile museum, now a palace of glass and limestone, renovated with another $60 million. From here, Bezos hosts power, political, global, quiet. In Maui, he picked up a $78 million coastal estate, white sand beach, natural fish pond, shielded by palm groves, a sanctuary wrapped in silence. In Manhattan, multiple units at 212 Fifth Avenue. One triplex alone cost over $80 million. In Medina, Washington, a waterfront property near Amazon's birthplace. And in Austin, rumors point to a new compound, purpose unknown, but not accidental. In total, Bezos's known holdings exceed $600 million. Not scattered, placed, like chess, not checkers. Supercars, the garage, the time built. It started with a Honda Accord, basic, silent, unremarkable. In the early days of Amazon, that's what Jeff Bezos drove. Not because it was cool, but because it worked. No flash, no noise, just movement. Now, the garage looks very different. A Koenigsegg Trevita sits under soft lighting, white carbon fiber body, one of only 2 ever made, laced with diamond dust. Worth $4.8 million, it's not built to drive, it's built to exist. Next to it, a Bugatti Veyron Mansory Linea Vivere. Matte carbon, custom everything, valued at $3.4 million. Engine tuned like a thunderstorm in a wind tunnel. You don't start it, you launch it. And parked across from that, the Lamborghini Veneno Roadster. $8 million of pure chaos, sharp edges, open cockpit. 9 in the world. Designed to look dangerous, standing still. This isn't a garage. It's a museum of motion. Each machine, a different chapter. Scarcity, precision, power. But here's the twist. The Accord's still there, tucked in a corner. Not washed, not showcased, just present. Because for all the noise these cars make, Bezos' story didn't start with horsepower. It started with intention. One man, one desk, one slow, steady engine. These machines own the road. But what Bezos built next? It doesn't touch the ground at all. Jets. In Jeff Bezos' world, time isn't just money, it's control. While most people build their schedules around airports, Bezos built a life that erases them. He owns 2 Gulfstream G650ER jets, worth a combined $150 million, and uses them like tools, not trophies. These planes aren't for showing off, they're for staying ahead. The Gulfstream G650ER is one of the fastest and farthest flying private jets on Earth. It can cross over 7,500 nautical miles without refueling, connecting cities like Seattle to Tokyo or Los Angeles to Dubai in a single flight. But distance isn't what makes these jets important. It's what they allow Bezos to do with time. He can attend meetings in London by morning, check on Blue Origin operations in Texas by afternoon, and be back in Hawaii for dinner, all without changing clothes. Inside, the jets are custom-built. Panoramic windows, leather recliners that turn into beds, noise cancellation so strong, conversation sounds like it's happening in a quiet room. There's space for a full team or for total isolation. Security systems are built in. Wi-Fi is encrypted. Everything is designed around uninterrupted work, planning, or rest, depending on what the day demands. These flights aren't for show, they're a system. Bezos uses them for Amazon Business, Blue Origin coordination, and personal travel, all on his terms. In a world where meetings happen across continents and timing defines power, private air travel isn't a luxury for him, it's a necessity. The jets give him something no one else has, the ability to skip space, skip waiting, skip the rules. And that's the irony. The man who used to pack orders by hand in a garage now crosses oceans before most people finish breakfast. But if owning the skies is impressive, what he's building on water makes the air look small. Keep watching. While some billionaires collect art or vintage watches, Jeff Bezos collects the future. Tucked between private jets and sprawling estates is a smaller but symbolic piece of his world. A robot dog named Spot. Built by Boston Dynamics and priced at around $75,000, Spot isn't a gimmick. It's a prototype of what's coming. 4-legged, terrain-adaptive, and fully autonomous, it can scan, carry gear, open doors, and move with unnerving precision. Originally designed for industrial and military use, it's built to work, not entertain. Bezos was once photographed walking Spot outside his Medina estate. No leash, no team of engineers, just a billionaire and his robot pacing across his driveway like it was normal. The photo went viral, not because it was absurd, but because it felt like a preview. In that moment, Bezos wasn't showing off. He was showing us what's next. But Spot is just one piece. Through his investment firm, Bezos Expeditions, he's funded dozens of robotics and AI startups, warehouse automation, neural interfaces, computer vision labs, all quietly backed while the public watches rockets and retail. It's not about hype. It's about building systems, machines that scale, learn, and eventually outperform the people they're meant to replace or assist. This obsession with systems goes back decades. Before Amazon, Bezos spent his time in garages, not boardrooms, tinkering with microchips and hardware. Now those projects have grown into billion-dollar investments in robotics, AI, and machine learning. What started with circuit boards now operates at the scale of satellites and neural nets. Spot might not be the most expensive piece of tech Bezos owns, but it's one of the most revealing. It shows how he thinks, not in trends, but in timelines. He doesn't wait for the future to arrive. He buys it early and builds it quietly. Because in Bezos's world, power doesn't just come from money or speed. It comes from systems that never stop moving. And Spot? That's just the beginning. Because what comes next doesn't walk on 4 legs. It floats. And it's got a name. When there's no more ground to claim, billionaires take to the sea. For Jeff Bezos, that meant building Karu, a 127-meter super yacht estimated at $500 million. But Karu isn't just a luxury vessel. It's a mobile fortress, a floating command center, a symbol of scale in motion. Built in the Netherlands over several years by some of the most skilled engineers and designers in the world, Karu blends silence with presence. It's larger than a naval destroyer, nearly invisible on open water, and follows one principle: independence. A secondary support vessel trails behind it, carrying a full suite of water toys, jet skis, tenders, and even a personal submarine. There's also a helipad, because when your private jet lands nearby, arriving by air is just another convenience. But Karu isn't just about movement, it's about message. In June 2025, the yacht hosted one of the most important events in Bezos's personal life, his wedding reception with Lauren Sanchez. Guests didn't just attend, they boarded. Politicians, tech moguls, media giants, all stepping onto polished decks to celebrate not just a marriage, but a merger of influence. Inside, Karu reportedly holds pools, a cinema, a spa, and multiple levels of entertainment space. Every material is deliberate: rare woods, custom marble, acoustic-treated leather, chosen to reflect taste, power, and control. Because in international waters, silence becomes a kind of luxury, a strategic advantage. Karu is more than a yacht. It's an extension of Bezos himself, mobile, private, and deeply calculated. This isn't about vacation. This is about operating at sea, meeting behind closed doors, and anchoring legacy in open water. And with that wedding, the yachts, the robots, the rockets, the jets, Jeff Bezos has moved from empire building to world shaping. Amazon was just the infrastructure. What followed is the curation of a legacy that spans land, air, sea, and soon, space. From robotic pets to orbital ambitions, this isn't just money. It's vision, strategy, and spectacle at the highest level. The Accord, the rocket, the wedding, the yacht, each piece more than a flex. Each one part of a plan. So what stood out to you most? The cars, the ceremony, or the future he's quietly engineering? If you enjoyed this journey, hit like and subscribe to Zenith, because we're just getting started.